Hello and thank you for coming to my channel. This is Rick's Garage, and today I'm going to show you how to install Mike Lane's Pro speaker that comes with our kit, the Ultimate Electronic Kit. And this is the kit that we use to install the dashboard. Now if you haven't seen my video on how to assemble and install that dashboard, I will put a link in the descriptions below for you. But today we're going to be focusing on how to install the circuit board and the speaker. Now when you get to stage 41 of your build, all you have here are these supports, and then you have the battery cover and the speaker cover, which we can ignore all this. We don't need these parts at all. So you can actually skip stage 41. In stage 42, what we have, get that page here, we have the circuit board and we have a few electrics to put in. We have the speaker cover and we also have the speaker. Now in stage 42, we don't need the circuit board, we don't need the speaker, but we need everything else. And when you get to stage 42 and you open it up, the part that you need is right here underneath your circuit board. So this is the part we need. We need that. And we do not need these two things right here that come with our kit. We do need, though, Mike Lane's circuit board. And I'm going to get this out. And that is Mike Lane's circuit board. And then in comparison, what we have is here on the left, we have the Fanhome circuit board. And this one here is our Mike Lane circuit board. You can see there is quite a difference. But they're basically the same size. So I'm going to put this aside because we don't need it anymore, or we don't need it at all, period. And I'm going to put this aside for a moment because we're going to need that in a few minutes. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our speaker looking like this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. Zoom in a little bit further, just like that. Okay, so we're going to take our speaker, we're going to turn it around this way around. We're going to place it face down, looking just like that, making sure that our wires are pointing toward the circuit board, where the circuit board is going to go. Then we're going to take this piece right here that comes with our kit, which is from Fanhome. We're going to put it right over the speaker just like that. And we're going to secure that in with 2 GM screws. So as you're securing this in, the speaker can be a little loose, which mine is. So you want to try to tighten that up so that there's enough pressure on the speaker so that it doesn't rattle around. Tighten it up a little bit on this side. And it still rattles, it still moves around. So I'm going to do that until it is secure and tight, because I don't want that speaker to move around and cause a rattling sound as the car might be moving around. So I'm going to secure that in nice and firm, just like that. Okay, now we're ready for our circuit board. And before I put the circuit board down, you'll notice that I've got some electrical tape here. And I did that on my own. Mike does not say anything about putting electrical tape down, but I just did this for my own peace of mind. I also put some on here on the side as well. As you look on the back of the circuit board, we do have some electrical components on the back. And even though these components are going to be here on the side, I just wanted my own peace of mind that they're going to be protected and I'm not going to get any shorts by being too close to a metal chassis. So this board is going to go in this way around, and this silver box right here is going to go toward the left of the chassis, and we're going to line up these 4 posts, screw posts, to those 4 holes right there, and we're going to secure that in with 4 PM screws. Okay, and there's our circuit board installed, and I just put the screws in thumb tight because I didn't want to over tighten them. You just want this in here enough so that the board is nice and secure. Then we're going to take our speaker wire right here and we're going to plug it into the port marked S. You may not be able to see it. I'll zoom in a little bit more. But there is an S right here for this port right there, and that's where the speaker wire is going to go. Okay, I just corrected a mistake. This cover I had on backward. The cover here, the opening here, should be toward the front of the car. So the way this is going to go on is just like this. You want to make sure that these connections are toward the circuit board but you want the opening to be toward the front of the car like that. Okay, so there is our circuit board in, we got our speaker in, we have our speaker cable in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more for you. Right into that port right there. And then I'm going to see if I can't show you how this looks underneath. Okay, that's how the circuit board looks like underneath. This is where your SD card is. That's the slot for the SD card. And that is the slot right there for the USB cable. Okay, and this is how your model should look like after you've reached stage 42. Now, I haven't completed stage 42 yet. There are some electrics that I need to install onto the circuit board, but from a Mike Lane standpoint, this is how your model should look with the circuit board and the speaker attached at the end of, or at the stage of 42. Okay, so essentially this is what your build should look like at the end of stage 44. Put this over here on the side here for a second. And it looks like a rat's nest of wires. And I'm going to try to kind of sort this out for you so you know what wires or what LEDs are doing what when the car is turned on. Now, the one thing I do want to go through is the LEDs that you do not need. And that's all these right here. You do not need any of these LEDs. And these are all coming from stage 44. And those are cables marked J, which is the dashboard instrument panel. And another one for the dashboard instrument panel is another LED marked L. So you don't need J and L. Okay, and then you also do not need the keypad wire lights, which is marked as LED G. You don't need the dashboard monitor lights marked H. And you do not need the front panel and voice box light marked O. So all these LEDs you do not need at all. So you can actually discard them, or actually I would actually keep them because you never know when they might come in handy for another build. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to show you is over here in the battery section, or the battery area of the car. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And this right here, this is the battery cover, which just sits down nice and snug to where it needs to go. There's no glue or screws needed at all. It just sits in there wedged up against the USB cable that goes up into your board. And the other thing that I did too is I put a green stripe here on the USB connection that goes into the car. This is the power end. I did that because I couldn't figure out, sometimes I had to go back and forth to figure out which end is which on this. So this is the correct way. I put a green stripe on there to tell me that when the cable is nice and straight, that this is the side that I need to connect my power to. Okay, now let's get into the fun part. And that's trying to understand all of these wires. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you how I've routed all these cables. Now all these cables that you see here are coming from the Fanhome kit. This is not coming from Mike Lane, other than the dashboard, and you have your monitor right back here, this cable right here, and then of course you have your speaker. Everything else is coming from the Fanhome kit. So all these wires that I've got right here, which is P, V is in Victor, this one here, I have a W, a K, and I have two cables here marked E. They're all coming from here, and I'm routing them all the way down through these wire tighters right down here out to the left side of the car behind the left wheel. And I just noticed that I didn't get this one cable here in this wire tighter. I'm going to get that in a little bit later. Alright, then I have all these other cables right here, and these cables are, this is the switch, this is a switch here, which I think this one is the accelerator switch. Then we have this cable right here, which is marked F, and F is the front lights, or the floor lights. And then we have this cable right here, which goes into the steering wheel column, and that's going to light up the buttons or the lights on the steering wheel column. They're all coming out this side, and I'm just having them kind of lay out in this direction here. Now these wires that I've got right here that are taped down to the center column, these cables are B, and these are the door switches coming out here. So I got a door switch on both sides. That's the door switches. Then I have these other cables coming out all the way to the front of the car over here. And these are, this is cable number, this is cable labeled M, and I'm not sure exactly what that cable is for. I'll have to look. And then we have this one here, which is the MOT cable, which is the motor for the lights. And then this one here is R, and I think R is for the front lights. Okay, and I'm going to try to figure out what this other cable is for, this M cable here, in just a moment. Okay, so this cable right here that's marked M, that's for the headlights. That's these right here, these two lights right here. And these two lights right here, they're also for the lights, for the front lights. But these are the fog lights. Okay? Alright, so now what I'm going to do is hopefully when I turn this on, I can show you all the lights that are working. So we're going to go to our remote, turn everything on. Okay, so our monitor is turning on like it did before. Turn down the light a little bit.
My sensors are picking up some very strange vibrations.
Okay, and our headlights are on. Got our other LED right here. Those are on. And then we also have our steering wheel columns. They came on as well. These are the lights that are going to go into the steering wheel. And then we have our back lights and our brake lights are also on. Those are these right here. Okay, so now let's see if we can't go through the lights using the remote. Okay, so I'm just going to go cycle through just the lights here. And that's number 7.
My sensors detect Barney on the second floor in the south wing.
So the front lights go on right here. So these lights are on. And then these lights also turn on. Here and here, these lights turned on. Okay, now I'm going to press number 7 again. And then we have more lights that came on. These headlights came on as well. Push number 7 again. And these lights then turned off. Okay. Press number 7 again. And all the lights turn off except for the steering wheel column. And this light here in the back, which is labeled V, and that is the center console light, which is right back here. This light right here is also on, and this one here is labeled W, and that is also the overhead console light. Okay? So I'm going to press number 7 again. This comes on. Press number 7 again. Now press number 7 again, this motor will turn. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to press 7 again. Again, there. Now you can see the motor is turning, and then I press it again, and the motor turns in the opposite direction. Okay, now we have our switches, which is these two right here. And if this works correctly, turn off the lights again here. If I do one light here, or one switch, this light, these lights right here will then light up. There it goes. And if you can hear it in the speaker, you can hear the door shutting and closing. So I'm going to do the light again.
Contrary to popular belief, looks aren't everything.
And then we'll do it again. Okay. Then we have another switch right here, which I believe is for the pedal. Press that. Okay, so that's the brake pedal. And that makes that sound like that. Okay, so it looks like all of our switches and all of our lights are working. as expected. So that was a successful test. But mainly what I wanted to do is to show you, get these lights back on, is to show you how, there we go.
Michael, to put it mildly, it's a long shot.
And well, it might be a long shot, Kit, but I actually got it working. So thank you very much. Okay, so all of the lights work. Everything is working just fine. I just wanted to show you how the wires were being connected to the circuit board and how I got them routed through. Again, I'll get this one secured into that wire tidy right there. I am a little bit concerned about these wires right here coming out so close to the edge of the chassis. I'm just hoping that that's not going to get in the way once we start building on top of this. But we'll see when that comes, and we'll deal with it at that point. Okay, the one thing I wanted to show that I didn't show, I don't think very clearly when I was showing out the functioning of the dashboard, is that when Kit speaks, his voice box does light up. So I'm going to play a few sound clips here for you.
Michael, I'm picking up something quite strange.
My dear, I'm a car, not a plane.
I hate to be the one to break this to you, but automobiles are not human. They have no lineage or personality.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor. KITT for easy reference. A KIT if you prefer.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that to you so that you know that the voice box does work when Kit does speak.
How's that for service?
Okay, so now I'm going to power this down. Okay, so I'm really excited that all my switches and my LEDs work, and I hope that my explanation of how I've got all the wires here connected to the circuit board, how they are all connected there, and how I've got them all routed out. I hope that helped you out if you're doing the same modification that I'm doing. Now, I am waiting for some modifications from Mike Lane and from Chloe over at lModz. So this is the stage that I'm going to end at. This would be really at the end of stage 47 because stages 45 and 46 deals with the watch. And the watch remote control is not needed for this kit. We can't use it because we're using Mike Lane's ultimate dashboard. Well, at least I am. So those two stages I'm not going to be building. So I'm really going to continue on from stage 47. And but I'm going to stop there because I don't want to do any more building until I get the mods that I'm waiting for from Mike Lane and from Chloe over at lModz. But I really do hope that all this helped you out on how everything was routed out, connected to the board, what LEDs you don't need, and which ones that you do for the board and for our modifications here, and that you'll give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, I really do hope that you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you can be notified of new videos that have been posted to the channel. Other than that, always have fun in your garage, your workshop, or wherever it is that you build your models. And until next time, thanks for watching.